24 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. One of the fun things that Robin and I do is we play music. In fact, we're doing it today. We're going to go to one of the local nursing homes and play music. And do you know, a lot of times people will congratulate us. They say, "Oh my gosh, that's such a nice thing that you do. You know, you play music for those folks." Oh gosh, I don't think our guest can hear me. Now she can hear me.
There you go.
Lisa Sugar is on the phone, and she has written a book that really kind of I could relate to so well. Her book is called "Power Your Happy." Work hard, play nice, and build your dream life. And what I started to say is that, you know, when you and I play music out, Robin, we play like at nursing homes, etc. And people will often say, "My gosh, that's such a great thing you're doing," and I thank them. You know, thank you for thinking that way. But the truth is, we have a ball doing it. You know,
yeah.
The truth is, we do. Today, we're going to go to a facility that is pretty much all dementia folks, which is different than a facility that has higher functioning people. And forgive me if that's offensive in any way. I don't mean it to be. I'm just saying that we actually have fun. We actually have fun doing it, and it is a blast. And you know, even this radio show is fun. We have our moments where it becomes frustrating when the computers don't work, or when if you have a guest, for example, who's very political and maybe even antagonistic. That happens every now and then too. I mean, we try to be polite and respectful, but 98% of the time, it's fun.
It is very much so.
I'll push a button. I'll have a secret sound happening on the radio when it's not so fun. I'll just let you know. No, I'm teasing. Lisa Sugar, good morning. Lisa, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're the founder and president of Pop Sugar. I love that. Your name works perfectly with what you're doing.
Yes, it does. I got it by marriage, though.
Oh, well, that's okay. It works out, right?
Yes, it did.
Oh, my niece told me the other day that she wanted to keep the same last name when she gets married.
That was so cute.
Can I tell you this? Her last name is my last name, but she said, when I get married, I want to keep the same last name. That way, when I have children, they'll be related to you. And I said, oh, that's cute. I said, they'll still be related even if you change your name. That's kind of funny. Just thought I'd share that with you. So what you do a lot of work with celebrities and blogging and all that, right? When did you start doing all this?
Yeah, over 10 years ago, I started writing a site, and it was basically about a lot of things that I loved. So whether it was TV shows or an amazing article that was out there that I was a fan of that celebrity, or just news of the day, but it also was fashion and beauty and health and wellness and other things that I really liked.
I love pop culture. You know why? It's a really great distraction. For example, I like Jimmy Fallon. I like his show because I can watch that and I don't have to worry about even when they have like when Trump and Hillary are on in the last couple of weeks. Even then, he makes it fun.
Exactly. And, you know, we like to look at all the things that are happening in pop culture so that you can, you know, have fun conversations and think about maybe some of the, you know, less not so fun news. But we also have a lot of information about things that can help you learn new things that you didn't know you wanted to do, or, you know, inspire you to take action in other ways. Really?
When you started it 10 years ago, did you ever imagine it would become what it is today?
No, I really just wanted to start writing and get myself in the habit of writing every day. I wanted to be a writer, and I just didn't know how to start. And I said, you know what, if I can get myself in this habit, you know, I'll see what happens from there. And I wasn't even telling people I was doing it, and the audience grew and came really fast.
But how were you able to get content? I mean, were you getting it off of the internet? Were you actually going to locations and getting it firsthand?
In the beginning, it was all stuff that was online, but I was able to find things before even the big media outlets were finding them. So people learned that Pop Sugar actually had the stuff first.
Oh, man, that's always a coup, isn't it, when you can do that?
Yeah. Yes.
So where are you located in a place where that would be possible? Where are you?
I was in San Francisco. I still am in San Francisco, but I work advertising, and at the time the magazines weren't really even online yet, and I had access to the magazines before they were on newsstands, and I could watch TV shows because I was able to review some of them before they even aired.
Wow.
But I wouldn't put spoilers out or anything. I just wanted to either give people the things that they needed to know about the article beforehand, kind of key highlights, or for a TV show I would give you, you know, I'd wait till the show aired, but I would then have my point of view of the show afterwards and why I liked it so much and why you should watch it. And
wow.
You have to have a lot of confidence when you do this. You have to believe in yourself and in other people. With you standing on the cover of your book, Power Your Happy, you really exude confidence, but you also exude friendliness. And that's really important, too. You have to have that friendly appeal to people.
Yeah, thank you so much. I loved writing so much in the beginning because people would give me that feedback, and I wanted the tone of the site to be very conversational and fun and friendly and a safe place when people were leaving comments. You know, the community became friends with themselves, and they learned that this was a place that they could feel safe and talk about their opinions as well, and that was really important for me to keep the community to feel that way in the beginning. So Pop Sugar's always been this friendly, fun, safe place.
So is your clientele mostly women?
We are mostly women, but the book and the site, and we definitely have a lot of content that resonates with men as well.
Yeah, I just went to popsugar.com, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just went there. 25 books you're going to want to curl up with this fall, and the picture is in Paris.
Yeah, see?
This is a
anyone
nice
could
looking
relate to
site.
that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we care a lot about how it looks from a layout perspective, easy to digest. A lot of people read us, obviously, on their phones, so it's very mobile-friendly.
But you live the way you're talking about and giving suggestions to people because you're a parent, you're involved in the children's activities, you're also involved in adult things, and that really makes, you to be a trusted person.
Yeah, I have 3 daughters, and we started the company literally the same week, basically, that my first daughter was born, so I was constantly blending this whole work and baby thing all together at once. And it was a really great lesson for me to learn how to do this and also, how to make it easier for our employees who are going through this. We have a lot of women who are getting married, having babies, and, we want them to love coming to work. We know how hard it is to leave the family, and we know it's expensive to have childcare and all that stuff. So, we really worked hard to try to make a place where people could incorporate something that they love doing, which is their job, and a place that they love to come work, as well as, family, which is priority.
I love the fact that you say in the notes, and I'm getting the notes to kind of sound like I know what I'm talking about. but I love this. It says, the most valuable piece of advice I wish I could give my younger self is it's okay if you don't know for sure what you want to do. I love that. Or I mean, I've always been the one who says, gosh, I don't know, and it's okay that I don't know because I'll find out somehow. Either that I'll look it up or somebody else will help me with it. Otherwise, just stay stiff. You never go anywhere.
Yeah, and I think, we grow up and we're, so much pressure in, like, even high school and then to college to declare your major the first week. Everyone thinks that they're supposed to know at a really early age, and I think that it's actually not the case. I think you have to take, a variety of jobs and internships and expose yourself to a lot of things and figure out what it is you like about those jobs. And some of those jobs are not going to be fun, but hopefully you're going to take something away from them and figure out for the next job what it is you do like. And I think that's really important. And I have friends in their, 30s, 40s, and 50s doing career changes. And I think that that's amazing to continuously evolve and figure out what it is you're good at and what you like doing.
Can I tell you a story that just the other day we had a young man come into the studio and he said hi to Robin and I, and as we talking to him, we realized we knew him. We knew him from maybe 10 years ago. He came into the studio when we had a different studio, and he was an actor. And that was his ambition. He wanted to be an actor, and he had the good looks, and he had the great presentation, and he had everything that an actor should have. So he left the studio 10 years ago, and we thought, wow, this guy's going to be famous. Well, now he's working for like an investment company, and he's been doing this probably for the entire 10 years since we've last seen him, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the interesting thing, Lisa, and this is why I bring him up, is because whatever gift he had that made him want to be an actor, his ability to speak, his presence, he's got a good look about him and a professionalism about him, and that's what we were impressed with 10 years ago. But actually, it works in public speaking that he does for the company he now works for. And I said to him, well, isn't it amazing that the gift you had that you thought you could apply to acting is actually applicable to this? You never know where life's going to take you,
Yeah. And I do talk about, like, unexpected talents that you didn't know would help you in your next career. And I think that for myself, I had a lot of what I thought was useless information about celebrities and, designers at fashion houses, and I could beat anybody in that game Celebrity. And I was like, how am I going to actually make a living with knowing all this stuff? And, to encourage people to know that they have to find their talents and what it is they're just naturally attracted to that could translate into a variety of different jobs or careers is great.
That's really good advice. And women are so pulled, especially, I think, because of the fact that, children are born and somebody has to be there for them. And it's a hard decision to make.
It is hard, but I think that we're living in a time now where if we have companies that do realize that there's a way to keep amazing, smart women who are very talented at their jobs happy, knowing that they also have a family life that they're balancing, there's a way to keep that employee happy because you've spent all this time training them and they know the business and they know the company. They're going to deliver. They're awesome individuals.
I think it would be foolish for any employer to let somebody go just because she needs a little time off to take care of a baby or something like that.
Right. Some people need a little more time than others.
Lisa, can I ask you to hang on for a little bit? We have to take a break. The book is called Power Your Happy. The website I went to is poweryourhappy.com. I also went to popsugar.com, I believe. I think it's one and the same, right? They take you to the same place?
Power Your Happy is for the book, but popsugar.com is where all of our content is on a daily basis, so you could learn about all fashion, fitness,
Okay,
parenting.
don't go away, Lisa. We will take a break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some sunshine on this Monday. Watch out for a thunderstorm later on. The high 87 to 91. Monday night, a shower and thunderstorm early, then partly cloudy late. Low 69 inland, 75 along the coast. Tuesday will be partly sunny with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 87 to 91. More the same Wednesday, times of sun and clouds with an afternoon shower or thunderstorm in the area, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hi, my name is Erica Olstein. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine. Do you have a gout-ridden toe or bowels that move too slow, creaky knees, or how about an asthmatic wheeze? Then acupuncture is sure to please. Come visit me, your primary care physician, Erica Olstein at A Better You Healthcare. Call me at 352-615-5566. That's 352-615-5566.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs. Next Generation MD is the future of healthcare now. Listen in the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. to learn how the future in PRP treatments are here in our area. Find out the many ways that Dr. Juan Jordan, MD, Charles Brooks, NP, and case manager Mark Shaw have brought the family medicine practice to a new level. Hear from the very people that benefit from the fine work they have done in this field. Next Generation MD, every first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. here on WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Highland Memorial Park is a beautiful place, not a sad place. You need to put your house in order, and Highland is the place to take care of your end-of-life issues. You have thought about it, but keep putting it off. That is just our nature. We want to protect our family, but life gets in the way. Pre-planning makes sense, but at some point, it will be too late to plan ahead. Don't put this off any longer. Call Highland Memorial Park. Make the best decisions and get it done. Call 352-369-1020. We will be there when you need us, but we would like to help you now. All right, 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I was just thinking about something. Lisa Sugar is on the phone. Power Your Happy is the title of her book. Lisa, let me tell you what I was just thinking about. Maybe 15 years ago, I was an activities director at an assisted living facility, and my job was to make people happy. My job was to bring them games and take them places and just be an entertainer, basically, for 8 hours a day or 9 hours a day. And sometimes I get to work. I was just looking at something in your book that reminded me of this. Sometimes I'd get to work and I would be, oh my gosh, I got to do this again. I would look in the mirror and slap myself in the face and go, okay, it's showtime, and I'd have to put the smile on. And so I in other words, what I'm saying is I would fake being jovial and happy, and then it would happen. All of a sudden, it would happen for real. It was like I'm faking it for a little while, but it becomes real after doing it for a half hour.
Yeah, I mean, I think also you're helping other people be happy. So
Yeah.
you know, even though sometimes it takes a lot of energy out of you to have to be on to do that job, it's such a grateful experience once you realize how you're helping other people.
Yeah, I think so. When you started writing the book, were you writing it with the intent of giving kind of advice, like attitude advice?
Yeah, well, I really wanted, I get asked constantly, you know, how do I do it all, and how did I create this company, and how do I get a cool job like yours? And, you know, these were questions definitely I had in my 20s or even after I've had kids, and I really felt like I was enough now. Like, I actually have learned a lot building this company from scratch over the past 10 years, and, you know, interviewing tons of people and working with hundreds and thousands of people, that, you know, I could give this advice, and our audience is always craving advice and as well as practical tips. So I wanted to help people at the end of each chapter. There's like a checklist of stuff either to do or just questions to answer to get your mind thinking about these things. And these are things that I ask my own team and employees as we're trying to refigure out job descriptions or somebody's, you know, career internally.
Right.
And I think it's really important to look at these types of things constantly, over and over.
And you're helping two types of people. You yourself had a wonderful childhood. You allow the reader to get the behind-the-scenes look of your childhood and your family growing up. And then you also have, and then you also address the people that haven't had a not-so-nice childhood. So instead of them growing up and being not-so-nice people, they're growing up, they're being nice people, and they're raising their children to like reflect the nice childhood that they wish they would have had.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to have a solid foundation and you know, great values. And I realized that I was really fortunate enough to have, you know, I have parents who are still together, and they believe in education, and they believe in exposing me to things, but also made me work at a really young age. And I think that's really important. I mean, my dad every summer, you know, made me make money. And I got to learn a lot along the way about various jobs that I liked and didn't like, and that's something I obviously would like to teach my own kids. You know, and I think, but the bottom line, too, is I talk about, you know, working hard and playing nice. None of this came easy. I've worked extremely hard, nonstop, for the past 10 years, but I really do believe in karma and playing nice, and it's something that I, you know, teach my 3 daughters, as well as the entire, you know, team internally, that, you know, we should have respect for one another, and nobody should be treating their coworkers, you know, rudely. It just wouldn't work in our world.
No, not at all. You know, there was a story I like to tell of a lady. I don't know this lady, but she was in the news, I guess, shortly after the September 11th attacks 15 years ago. She was working on Wall Street and decided after those attacks that it was too close for comfort. She wanted to get out of there. She never really liked her job, but it paid well. She moved here to Florida, to New Smyrna Beach, and she's an artist, and she started painting T-shirts as a way to make a living. And while her dollar earnings was greatly reduced, her happy level went way up. She was so much happy. We interviewed her for like 15 minutes or so, and it was one of those stories we go, gosh, that's really, isn't that the whole point, is to do what you think is really what you're about, rather than simply going for the dollars.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we obviously stress a lot about money, and we need to make money to put food on the table and a roof over our head, but if you always let that be a barrier, you'll never try or push yourself to do anything. And that's why I actually suggest you really start small. A lot of times you can't just have a complete career change, but if you end up finding something you love doing, the money will come. And it'll come into an amount that you need. So in her case, she doesn't need as much money. She's so much happier, and she's in a different, you know, city and in a whole new life. And she wouldn't have known if she didn't, you know, try something different.
I think, just based on the little I know of you, Lisa, I think what you're going to do is expand your audience. I mean, you've already got billions of people that go to your blog all the time. So good, congratulations on that. And when did the book come out?
The book came out last week. So it's out now. There's audiobook, which I read, which was a fun experience. So if you want to hear my voice instead of reading, you can do
nice.
that too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love audiobooks. So we had a guest on one time, and he also had a blog that kind of parlayed itself into becoming a book. And he liked the idea of something tangible and physical that might be around even if the sun goes out.
Yeah.
I think that's how he put it, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I love going into bookstores and just wandering. I could spend all day in a bookstore. It's a really fun.
Oh, I love books. I love the Kindle, but I also love the books, and I can imagine myself in public transportation, like a bus or a train or something like that. I'd rather have a book, I think, than a Kindle. I don't know. It depends on what I'm reading.
It depends where you are too.
Yeah.
You talk talk about how to let go and delegate, because I think that's the hardest thing that a person has to do when they're the foundation of the company and they build it up, because they need to trust people to have them help move the company forward or any project.
Absolutely. That was definitely one of the hardest things for me to do, because I loved writing so much in the beginning, and I spent, day and night writing. But eventually we'd hired so many wonderful people who had learned the positive, friendly voice, and they are doing such a great job. And, different parts of the business needed me. I needed to work with sales and marketing, and we decided to do a lot more video. And I was really excited to be able to learn new things. And it also enabled my team to learn a lot of new things by taking over things that I was no longer doing. And we still have that philosophy, because we're still such a young company, being only, 10 years old. Everybody's growing up into these great leadership roles. We have a lot of employees who are actually still with us from the beginning, which is just, so heartwarming to me to be able to see, people who came in at 23 and they're still with us at 33, and their jobs are totally different. So it's nice. We've all learned to sort of let go of the things that we originally came in to do.
The book is called Power Your Happy. Among other things that are in the book, you have bikinis and curly hair. I'm not a lady, but I know that that's important to you ladies. I mean,
yes.
we live in a bikini area, so
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
yes, I know.
I mean, if we're just, talking about health and wellness and appearance, and
Right.
like I said, I'm raising 3 girls, so it's like I don't want them to see me stressing over, things like how to do my hair. And
Oh, I know.
So.
I know. It's so. Do you know? We Robin and I support the Children's Craniofacial Association, and these are children that are born with facial problems that are more or less permanent, and their big mantra is to accept who they are. And I don't think I've ever met a group of children who were stronger at not worrying about other kids bullying them because of their looks. I mean, these kids really are happy. It's an amazing thing. So I think you're really sending a great message with your book.
Well, thank you. I mean, we see a lot of, women and a lot of, unfortunately, insecurities, and women who are coming to us to feel better, and so we want to help them realize that. And what I do love is, I think now more than ever, people are more accepting of all shapes, sizes, colors, and everything. So it's so cool to see how a younger generation is, personalizing themselves, whether it's, piercing tattoos or hair colors.
Right.
People are having fun with their looks, and I think that that's very different than what we've seen in the past.
Right.
I think it's amazing.
And real quickly on your one last note that could take 2 hours to talk about is racial diversity. I think
Yes.
we're a better place because of the fact that we embrace and respect each other's differences, whether it's religious or racial or anything, cultural or any of that. I love what you say. I'm a fan. Thank you, Lisa, for being on the show with us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
The book, Power Your Happy. Go get a copy. Oh, call me if you want the copy that was sent to me. I'll be glad to give one away. The rest of us have to go buy it. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you. Have a great day.
That was fun. We'll take a break. Be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.